This video will cover the step-by-step build process of the IZIP TriStar. Open and remove the parts boxes and the trike frame. When removing the trike frame from the box, be sure to grab from the frame and avoid pulling it out by the wires or the cables. First, grab the rear frame and the mounting bolts. Before connecting the rear frame, insert one of the connecting bolts in by the rear sprocket. Keep this bolt loose so you can slide the rear frame into position. You will find that the left side bolt is already installed. Slide the rear frame into place and install the 4 bolts to secure them together. Leave these bolts loose until the rear chain is installed. To install the rear chain, you will use the master link to connect the 2 ends. Simply put the master link pieces in each end of the chain and link them together. When the chain is under tension, it will lock the master link into place. Push the rear frame in as far as it will go. This will give you some space to put the chain on the 2 sprockets. Pull on the rear frame until the master link clicks into place. Once the chain is installed, now you can increase the tension in the chain by pulling the rear frame away from the rest of the trike. Now tighten down the 6 bolts to lock them together. When everything is tightened properly, the chain should only move up and down about a ½ an inch. Next, we will install the battery carrier. Put the battery carrier into place on the frame and secure the 4 bolts. When installing the power box, you will see that one has metal prongs to connect to the battery and the other does not. The power box with the prongs should be installed on the left side of the battery carrier. Remove the 4 screws on the back of the power box with the prongs and take off the plastic cover. This will expose the wires that will plug into the wire harness that goes into the motor. Also remove the 4 mounting screws on the bottom of each power box. Securely connect the 2 wires from the power box to the trike's wire harness. Tuck the plugs into the power box and reinstall the plastic cover. Use the small rubber pieces to block the open holes on the bottom of the power box. Insert the power box with the prongs into position on the left side of the battery holder using the 4 mounting screws. Install the other power box on the right side of the battery holder. The right side battery mount is there so you can carry a spare battery, but will not connect power directly to the trike. Assemble the rear cargo basket by sliding the side pieces into place and locking together from the bottom of the basket with the 10mm nuts. When finished with the bottom, flip the basket over and secure the 4 corners with the longer 4mm bolts. Put the basket into place and center over the rear frame. Use the 2 metal struts to secure the rear basket to the top of the battery holder. Install the speed sensor to the frame using the 2 screws. To get the rear fenders ready for the trike, You will need to install the 2 fender struts to each of the rear fenders. Remember to position the fenders so the reflector holes face the rear of the trike. Mount the fenders to both the left and the right side of the trike. Take the nut off the end of the axle to install the wheel. Make sure to leave the spacer between the frame and the left side wheel. Slide the wheel into place and tighten down the axle nut. Put the handlebars into place by sliding the neck of the stem into the head tube. Install the front wheel into the fork and securely tighten the 2 axle nuts. Now that the front wheel is on, align the front handlebars with the front wheel. Use the 5mm bolt on the top of the stem to lock the handlebars in their final position. Insert the seat post into the saddle clamp and loosely tighten down the 2 bolts to hold it into place. It's recommended to apply a little grease to the seat post to allow the post to move smoothly in the seat tube. Slide the saddle into the seat tube of the frame and tighten down the quick release. Now that the saddle is on the trike, you can correct the angle of the seat. Once the saddle is in a level position, tighten down the 2 bolts to secure the saddle clamp. Pedals are specific to the left and the right side of the tricycle. If you look close at the ends of the pedals, you will see a small L for the left pedal and a small R for the right pedal. We suggest you apply some grease to the pedal threads before installation. When installing the pedals, get the threads started in the crank arms with your fingers. Tighten the right side pedal by spinning the wrench clockwise. The left side has opposite threads, so you'll spin the wrench counterclockwise to tighten. Install the struts onto the front fender. Slide the front fender into position and fasten to the back of the front fork. Anchor the 2 fender struts to the lower part of the fork using the 2 screws. Connect the front brake by pulling the brakes together and connecting the cable guide to the quick release cable hook. Take the magnet and attach it to the rear right wheel. You will want to position the magnet so it rotates close to the speed sensor. You should adjust the speed sensor's position to get within 3 to 5 millimeters of the magnet. Slide the battery into the tracks of the battery holder. Once it's pushed in all the way, you can lock the battery with the key. To confirm the battery is locked, give the handle a good pull and make sure it doesn't come out.